It's official, Canon just announced the price and release date for the new and highly anticipated EOS R5 professional full-frame mirrorless camera, and what's more, a scaled-down prosumer option that'll take the form of the EOS R6. For those of you following my channel or just watching this space, you'd already know that Canon had been teasing the release of the EOS R5 since January of 2020, when they slowly released confirmation of some of the main specs of this camera. And although Canon didn't initially confirm the R6, there were many rumors about it online, and sure enough, it looks like they were justified. Since the rise of social media and independent journalists, we've seen an increase in rumors, speculation, and even product leaks. On the one hand, when the information is true, this can be a great service to the consumer, but the downside is that quite often we're fed a diet of false truths, exaggeration, and sometimes even myth, designed to feed into the desires and expectations of the end user rather than reflect the reality of the product development objectives of the brand. A classic example of this is the Apple Worldwide Developers Conference that just passed, where a whole range of exciting product releases had been speculated, from a completely redesigned iMac to a new over-ear set of headphones, and even a whole new product category in the form of AR glasses, none of which eventuated, leading to bitter disappointment and people unnecessarily holding off on that essential purchase based on the rumors that preceded the event. So in order to combat this trend, Canon, in my opinion, did a great thing by playing into the rumor mill and teasing out and confirming the specs of their up and coming cameras. As such, we had a great idea of what was coming, and now, just as Canon are ready to launch, we have the full pricing and release date confirmed. So before I go over a summary of the specs and the differences between the new EOS R5 and R6 and whether they're worth it, let's take a look at the pricing. The top of the line R5 with its 45 megapixel CMOS sensor and ability to shoot 4K 120 FPS and 8K RAW uncropped, along with IBIS and dual SD CF memory card, is clearly aimed at the professional, and it's going to have a price point to match. If you want to get access to this feature set, we're looking at an RRP of $3,900 US, or you can buy it in kit form with a 24-105 f4 for around $5,000, and it'll begin shipping by the end of July. For the everyday shooter, the Canon EOS R6 with a 20 megapixel sensor and 4K shooting with no crop, along with IBIS and dual SD card slot, could be a more attractive proposition, coming in at around $2,500 US for the body only. There's also an option to get it with a 24-105 f4 RF lens, and that'll come in at around $3,600 US. The R6 is landing a little later, where it's expected to ship at the end of August 2020. There's also a new optional BGR10 battery grip that'll be compatible with both the EOS R5 and EOS R6, and also a secondary option which has extended Wi-Fi capabilities and Ethernet port. So if you've been holding out for one of these new cameras, what are the main differences and which one should you buy? At the core of the EOS R5 is a brand new 45 megapixel CMOS sensor and the Digic X processor, which allows the EOS R5 to capture 8K RAW video at up to 30p, 10-bit 422 internal 4K at up to 120p, and full resolution still images at up to 20 frames per second with the electronic shutter, or 12 frames per second mechanical shutter, all internally without any sort of crop or focus limitations. The EOS R5 also has 5-axis in-body image stabilization, built to work together with the in-lens stabilization found on some RF mount lenses. The system reportedly provides up to 8 stops of shake reduction, and of course is ideal for those of you shooting video out and about in the field. Finally, in terms of design, some minor changes to the ergonomics, including the removal of the touch bar, which has now been replaced with a more traditional joystick dial, a 5.76 million dot OLED EVF with 120 Hz refresh rate, a 2.1 million dot fully articulating LCD screen, dual card slots, one CF Express and one UHS 2 SD, a microphone port, headphone jack, micro HDMI, and built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity, all inside a weather, drip, and dust resistant body. The cheaper consumer focused EOS R6 sports a 20.1 megapixel CMOS sensor, the same Digic X processor found in the EOS R5, and this allows the R6 to shoot 10-bit 422 4K video up to 60p, 1080 120p slow motion, but there's no option to shoot at 8K. There's no raw video either, but still shooters get the same advanced dual pixel CMOS AF2 and the same IBIS system as the EOS R5. You get to shoot full res 20.1 megapixel stills at 20 frames per second using the electronic shutter, 12 frames per second mechanical shutter, which is the same as the EOS R5. Finally, as expected, the EOS R6 is a little more stripped down in terms of design. There's no top LCD, the OLED viewfinder is slightly lower in resolution, and the fully articulating LCD screen on the back is also a bit lower res at 1.62 million dots. You still get dual card slots, both a UHS 2 SD, a microphone port, headphone jack, a micro HDMI port, and built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, connectivity for wireless control or image transfer. And the camera has weather, drip, and dust sealing on par with the Canon EOS 5D series. So now that we have the full picture, specs, release date, and pricing, let me know what you think in the comments box below. Are you going to get one? What do you think of the price? And do you think Canon are back on top with this second range of the full frame mirrorless camera series? Thanks for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the video, hit me up with a like. And if you want to see more from me, consider subscribing to the channel and you'll be notified of up and coming video releases. See you on the next one. Bye for now.